The Valorian trade delegation materialized in the reception hall of New Terra's Colonial Administration building, their translucent bodies shimmering with what Ben had learned to recognize as barely contained fury. "This is unacceptable," Ambassador Zelther announced, his voice modulating through 3 different frequencies simultaneously. "We demand immediate cessation of all colonial activities and full restitution of our property." Ben leaned back in his chair, fingers steepled beneath his chin. Beside him, Wren tapped something into her datapad, her expression carefully neutral. They'd been expecting this visit for months. "Your property?" Ben asked mildly. "I believe you'll find that Earth purchased Kepler-4 for to be fair and square. We have the contracts." Zelthor's form flickered with agitation. "You were sold a dead world, a worthless rock. The agreement is void under Galactic Commerce Clause 7 to 9, misrepresentation of goods." Wren looked up from her datapad, one eyebrow raised. "Misrepresentation? Your sales agent specifically described it as tectonically stable, mineral depleted, and completely devoid of exploitable resources. I'm looking at the contract right now." Every word was accurate. "Yes, but," and the price reflected that assessment. Ben continued smoothly. 30 million galactic credits. A bargain basement price for an entire planet. We knew exactly what we were buying. The second Valorian delegate, Kreesix, shifted uncomfortably. "But you humans, what you've done? It's impossible. The planet was dead. No rare earth elements, no exotic materials, atmospheric composition unsuitable for advanced manufacturing." "Unsuitable for your advanced manufacturing," Wren corrected. "The atmosphere was actually perfect for us. Nitrogen, oxygen, trace gases. We could breathe it right out of the box. Sure, it was a little thin at first, but nothing some algae farms couldn't fix." Ben stood and walked the viewport, gesturing at the sprawling city below. New Terra's capital had grown exponentially in the 5 years since humanity had purchased the planet. Crystalline towers reached toward the sky. Farms stretched to the horizon in geometric precision, and the gentle hum of fusion reactors provided endless clean energy. "You see, Ambassador, your species made a fundamental error in judgment," Ben said. "You assumed that because Kepler-4 for to be lacked the exotic elements your technology depends on, it was worthless. But humans, we've always been good at making something from nothing." Zelthor's form pulsed with colors Ben's translator couldn't quite interpret. "You've extracted resources that our scans said didn't exist. You've established manufacturing capabilities on a world with no rare earth elements. You're producing technology that rivals our own using nothing but iron, silicon, and carbon." "Actually," Wren interjected, pulling up a holographic display, "we're exceeding your technology in several key areas. Turns out that when you can't rely on exotic materials, you get really creative with the basics. Our new carbon lattice computing systems are 40% more efficient than your quantum processors, and they're made from literally the most abundant element on the planet." Ben returned to his seat, his expression hardening slightly. "Let me tell you what really happened here, Ambassador. Your people found a world that was useless to exotic elements, no rare minerals, just ordinary matter. So you decided to offload it to the newest species in the galactic community, the primitive humans who'd barely figured out faster than light travel. You thought we'd dump our resources into developing a worthless rock, realize our mistake, and come crawling back, desperate and broke." The silence from the Valorian delegation was telling. "But we didn't fail," Wren continued, her voice carrying an edge of steel. We thrived. Because while you've spent millennia becoming dependent on rare elements and exotic physics, humans learned to do everything with whatever we had on hand. We split the atom with equipment built from spare parts. We reached our moon with computers less powerful than a modern wristwatch. We've survived ice ages, plagues, and ourselves. A dead planet. She laughed. That's just Tuesday for humanity. Ben pulled up a document on the main display. Now, about your demand for restitution. I'm afraid we'll have to decline. The contract is ironclad. But I do have a counteroffer. Zelthor's form dimmed. What kind of offer? We've been expanding. Nuterra now supports a population of 50 million and growing. We've established orbital manufacturing, fusion infrastructure, and we're producing more ships than we need. We're looking to acquire additional territories. Ben's smile was predatory. I understand the Valorian Combine has several other worthless planets you might be interested in selling. The ambassador's form flickered through several colors at once. You cannot be serious. Oh, but we are, Ren said cheerfully. We'll pay the same bargain basement prices you charged us for this one. After all, they're worthless, right? Dead rocks with nothing but common elements. Not worth anything to an advanced species like yours. Kreesix made a sound like grinding glass. Those planets are strategically located. They control major shipping routes. If you establish colonies there, then humanity will control those shipping routes, Ben finished. Using ships built from ordinary steel and carbon, powered by simple fusion reactors, crewed by a species that's very, very good at making do with limited resources. The same species you tried to scam. Zelthor's form had gone completely transparent, a sign of deep distress. This is extortion. No, ambassador. This is business. Ben stood, extending his hand in the human gesture of farewell that still unnerved most aliens. The same kind of business you tried to conduct with us. The difference is, we're better at it. The Valorian delegation vanished without another word, their teleportation leaving only a faint shimmer in the air. Ren exhaled slowly. Think they'll sell. Ben walked back to the viewport, looking out at the thriving world below a world that every other species had dismissed as worthless. They'll sell. They're too proud to admit they made a mistake, and too greedy to turn down the credits we're offering. Besides, he grinned, they still don't really believe we can make dead worlds valuable. They think this was a fluke, and when they realize it wasn't, by then humanity will control a dozen systems, all built from worthless planets. All using technology they can't comprehend because they've forgotten how to innovate with limited resources. He turned back to face her. Our ancestors turned deserts into gardens and tundra into cities. They built wonders from mud and stone. The galaxy thinks that makes us primitive. Ren smiled, understanding. They have no idea what we're capable of. None whatsoever, Ben agreed. And that Ren is exactly how we like it. Outside, Nuterra continued to grow. A testament to humanity's greatest strength, the ability to look at nothing and see everything.